Welcome to Integrative Lawyers of the World. It's time for a new way of practicing law, a way that honors our interconnectedness, that values what is really important, our core values: generosity, integrity, authenticity. If you agree, you are not alone. There is a global integrative law movement that is transformational, impactful, fun. It's time to grow because the world needs us. So we are interviewing lawyers from around the world who share their experiences as an integrative lawyer. One by one and together, we can and we are making a positive impact. Hi, I'm Carrie Raleigh, and I'm the host of Integrative Lawyers of the World. And our guest this episode is Fernanda Guerra from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Fernanda shares with us how she discovered integrative law and how through this discovery, she found joy in the practice of law. Grounded in purpose, fueled by joy, and supported with integrative law tools, Fernanda helps her clients resolve their conflicts and to build a creative foundation for their many business ventures.
Put myself present, I think, is our challenge. And I think is the way that it's when the magic can happen. That's I like to say, because as an integrative lawyer, it's a thing that I put to my clients. I don't know what happened during the process to building a conscious contract. Nowadays, I'm using a lot conscious contract to take care of relationship, because I think my big pain, a pain in my life, it's a pain about incompletely relationships. And so I really want to take care of people through their relationships. And so I'm using conscious contract to do that. And so we build that in the process. And I don't know what's happened during the process, if I'm using nonviolent communication, meditation, Constellation, all the skill that I've developed. But I know that I'm here for my clients and completely empathy and with no answer to go through his world and know what's happened and know about his pain and connect his pain with my pain. I think that is the way that I can be as a healer. And so I say that to connect what you say in the beginning. So it's about take a pause and be here, and let's see the magic happen.
That's what it sounds like. So what I heard is that being present, like you have all your tools that you can use for your clients. But the first thing is the shift in yourself to be present with your clients. And then you can know which tool to use with which client at what time and how you can connect with them. But it starts with being present with yourself, present in the moment, present with your clients. Is that what did I hear you correctly?
Yeah, because if I do in another way, is like a traditional practice. Yeah. I have a model. And again, I want to put the people in my model. And I don't believe in that, because I don't like when someone said that I'm a lawyer, that I'm shy, or something like that. I don't want that someone qualify me, because I can be all the things. I choose what I want to be. A shy person, a very easygoing, depends.
Yeah.
And so it's the same things. I have a lot of tools, and sometimes I need to say to my clients, I can help you because I don't have resource skills. But since I decided to change my practice, never say that. Of course, sometimes they expect to me something that I can give them, but I always guide him with me together in a collaborative perspective. Solution appears, and sometimes we need someone to help us, but always something happen, and I can help them.
When you say integrative law or integrative lawyers, what do you think of?
When I'm thinking about being an integrative lawyer, I'm thinking about to be myself. I've been a lawyer during a traditional lawyer during 20 years. So, and I'm around 10 years, I start to asking, what is it that I feel inside of me that not fit? And I have a successful career as a traditional lawyer. And I think it's something about me, not about the system, not about all the things. And so,
what type of law did you practice?
I practice with the unions.
Okay.
So, and then I think the things start to change when I recognize the deep pain that I have, and the pain that I told you, that I really have a pain to not having a real connection in the relationships. I feel a hard pain when I can't be myself. I need to be a model.
How was it how was it in the traditional practice that you felt like you couldn't be yourself?
All the time. First, because we are looking as the same. All lawyers in the world using a suit, wearing high heels, makeup. So, okay, it's nice. I like it. I really like today to prepare myself to see you because I'm all the time at home, like uh, like homeless.
Yeah.
So, but I need to put myself in this way all the time, and so it's not about my appearance, but there is something that I need to be. I need to see the other person as an enemy, and I need to prove that my client that my view is right. And inside of me, I think it's an absurd because what is right? And so I live two lives separately. And so I think, life is that. Life, I need to be one person in work and one person in my private life. And so I will working a lot. Yeah. When I be around my 50, I getting a retired, and so I will having my life. I have this plan, and I waiting for the weekends. Good. And so I started to research another skills like cooking, photography, meditation, sports, to try to take care of this pain. And all the times I'm feeling separately way as a lot of person spread in the world. One person work, one person in private life, one person with my colleagues in the sport. So I'm thinking a crazy person. In nowhere I'm entirely. And so during my spiritual practice, making a lot of meditation, I started to integrate all the time, and I started to realize there is a lot of way to live your life. There is not just one way. And so when I recognize that, realize that, so how I can change my practice. I don't see a window, a door to do that. And I think to give up. And I start to do other things. Still being a lawyer, but start to do another thing for someday give up a lawyer practice. And when I met Kim, is the first time that I realized that I can do all the things together, that I can be myself and making my practice as I am. So because I study a collaborative practice, mediation, all different kind of practice in the law too, but all the times I feel it's a box and I don't want to be in a box. And so when I start to hear Kim here in Brazil when she came, I realized that I can put all these things in this umbrella that she brings to us. It was a small group here in Rio de Janeiro. I'm a very lucky person because I think not join this group. And when she started to talking about the paradigm of conscious contract, I feel completely as my life comes to me.
Mm. Why don't you share a little bit of the paradigm of conscious contracts?
And so the paradigm is that there is, you are the paradigm, is one of the first words that she said to us. You are the paradigm. And it's impacted me a lot. And I have an insight that I put all these things that I've been doing in a service of my client. And so, and I realized that I've been doing a conscious contract in my way, and I didn't realize that is a conscious contract. There is a community that do that, someone that do that. And so all the things start to fit. And in 2 years ago, I decided not being as a traditional lawyer anymore. And today I just working with the conscious contract. And of course, as we talking in the beginning, I feel fear, uncomfortable all the time. And I feel this is the way that I feel alive. This is the life, because all the every day something new happened. I met a new people going in a new world that I don't know what is this world, what is happened. And it's unbelievable. And I feel that I have the sensation that I've never had, and doing 20 years as a traditional lawyer, that I help people and helping myself together, and not because the solution appear, because I'm not sale solution anymore. I'm not sale a contract. I'm not sale a sue anymore. I'm not sale a reason anymore, but I sale that I can put myself with you. Okay. And of course, sometimes I need to taking for this situation a legal perspective, but this perspective is for to help that relationship, not to say that you have reason and the other person is wrong, because there is no rule. And so this is inspire me a lot.
How
I feel alive.
What would you say if someone comes to you, said, well, I think what you just got done saying, it's not to say that you're right and they're wrong. There's no rules. It's to move forward, to resolve the situation and move forward without assigning blame. What would you say, like when a client comes to you, as so many have come to me? I did a business litigation and things, and they say, well, that other company, they, either breached a contract, they cost me money, they stole my intellectual property, they did something wrong. They did do something wrong. I do want them to be held accountable, and I do want to blame them. So how would that type of situation, which comes up a lot in the business world, and sometimes even with my business clients, there is emotion in the dispute, and they want the other person, if the other person wronged them, they want to assign blame. They want to say, you did something wrong.
Yeah. I really agree with what you say. But as you said, when you're thinking about company, because it's incredible nowadays, I'm working with the companies a lot. Making most of my clients they want to building a company, a partnership
Okay.
or some business. And it's something completely new for me because as a traditional lawyer, I don't do that. Uh, and so, but it's because of the relationship they came to me. And again, when I thinking about a company, I can believe in a company. There is no company. Company is how can I say that in English? I don't know. It's not a true thing because the company is a person behind the company. I just saw the people behind the company. There is no company. There is someone that built that support that. So I'm interested in this person and these people. And so of course when there is another one that say you hurt me, its impact then, and it's very healing to hear that. It's important. But again, let's try to understand why you hurt me, why your company hurt me. And so let's deal with this subject, with this with with these feelings that interested me, these feelings behind the position that the people do. So why this company decide having this attitude to hurt people? What they want to protect? And of course, it's a company that just thinking about money. I think they never can using a lawyer as us. But if there is someone that thinking about people, thinking about the world, and maybe hiring integrative lawyer, maybe they want some help, but they don't know somehow. And we need to put our skills to help them to see the attitudes that they uh, building, the attitudes that the company can hurt people, can hurt the world. So I think it's a huge, a needed and beautiful work, and it's very difficult. Very difficult. It's not. It's simple, but it's difficult. It's complexity. Actually, it's easy, but it's complexity. It's a challenging, and that is our work because we are in a world that people that don't have this conscious, and our work is aware this conscious, foresee that your attitudes impact other people, impacting the world. You are not alone. So we live in a system.
So is that part of what conscious contracts is being conscious of the, I want to say the human component, the feelings, the people behind the contract, being conscious of that, and whether it is a contract in like a family law dispute or a business contract, there's always people behind those contracts, and being conscious of those relationships and those people as you draft the contract and as they go on to fulfill their obligations under the contract.
Yeah, that's it. What is a contract? It's a paper.
Yeah.
And why you decide to put a relationship in a paper? Because this relationship is very important. And so let's see this paper as an important thing, but not to put this relationship in a box. So let's take care of relationship, discover why you decide to having a relationship with this person. Let's talking about the relationship, and then we're talking about the legal system that is in the service of this relationship. But we need to know to each other, to build the trust, because relationship is about trust, is about vulnerability, and it's a very hard thing to deal, because we working in a protective minding all the time with fear. I see you as an enemy. I see you as someone that can hurt me. And is if I say to you, what can hurt me? Why you decide to hurt me? Maybe you hurt me because you don't know me. You don't know what is important to me. Not because you are an evil person, but because you don't know. And so putting a lot of clauses in a contract to protect me to you is something that building a trust between us or putting us separate, more separate, put a wall behind us. So the conscious contract mindset is not to building a wall with a paper. It's building a bridge, a trust bridge. And this bridge, we are building this during the process of building the conscious contract, because I build the conscious contract with the people involved in this relationship. As a traditional lawyer, the clients came to us and said, I want a contract for this partnership. And okay, in 1 week, I send you the contract. And the people, firm, signed this contract because they trust me as a lawyer, not because they trust the other part. So it's a completely insane thing. And most of the times, they don't know what we're writing. Because as the lawyer community, again, because inspired in fear, not having a job, we're protecting us to each other, to using a language that just us understand. Sometimes you need to using, how can I say, a cartoon to do that.
Yeah. But I will say where there's a fear, because in the legalese or the standard terms, they've been tested in the courts. So if it's a term in your courts and in your jurisdiction, how a court's going to interpret it. So you don't, like, I found myself like, I'll keep the legalese in there because I want to make sure the court's interpreting it. But then I'll add to it in layperson's term what it means, which then my client gets upset with me because my contracts are too long. So
all the time is a paradox. We're living in a paradox because again, we're building a contract for the judge, for the court, and it's insane again, because I start a relationship and prepare a paper for using that in the court. And I think in a country like Brazil, I don't know about your country, but our court is completely overloaded because, and I can explain all the details about our culture, but here we having a culture we need to win and having the reason again. And so every single things we put in a court to someone, a judge that I can like to say is like our father, to say that I have a reason. We put ourselves as a child. Okay, you have a reason. And your little brother don't have a reason. So judge is the behavior that we expect for the judge. And so for me, it's again something that there is no sense. Of course, the justice has their own role, is important for huge things, things that interesting for the society, not single details. We need to put ourselves as adults with the conscious, and we need to know that I need the other part to solve the problem. And it's not about to have a reason, because, okay, I can having a reason in a court, but the quality of this relationship, all the pain that this dispute result in my life of other person, it's something horrible. And it's about peace, and it's about harmony. And so I think conscious contract, when I put my client to building the contract with me during 1 month, 2 months, there is a legacy. There is a legacy because they discover how to talking about the conflict. The conflict is not something that it's bad or good. It's something that happens during the life all the time. It's something ordinary. We need the crisis, the conflicts to grow up. That's the way that we develop as a human being. So I can see a conflict as a war. It's not the same thing. A war is a strategy that I use to see the conflict, as I am using the strategy to run the conflict. It's the same thing. So during this process with the conscious contract, we're talking about that. And I think my service is that. And as a tip, I bring to my clients a contract, but it's not about the contract. So
I understand that it's not about the piece of paper. And I think what you were saying too a little while ago is it's about the people and the relationships behind the contract and helping them understand each other and understand what would hurt me if you did something. What would hurt me, and once someone understands that, I think you had said this earlier. Most people don't want to hurt someone else. They do it because they don't know or they don't fully appreciate how it could impact someone or how important it is. So I know, towards the end of my career when I was still practicing law, it would take me a while to get through contracts with my client. And I know some other lawyers, they'd get it and boom, 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 here you go. But with my clients, it was, okay, let's talk this through. What is it that you really want? And then I'd ask them questions. Well, what about this? What do you want the other side? Have you talked to the other side about this? Oh, no, we haven't. Well, maybe you should have a conversation. Do you want us all, get their lawyer? Sometimes their lawyers and us would all come together so that we can have an understanding. And I would say the contract, I would say a lot of times people think the contract you think of a contract as something to use in court to enforce your rights. I'm like, yes, that's there. But I think the more important role of a contract is to make sure everyone understands what is supposed to happen in this relationship, whether it's a business relationship, it's a new venture or whatever, so that you don't end up in court, so that you can work through the relationship and work through, like you were saying, the conflict as they come up. And I think
that's it. And so doing that, we can hear in Brazil, we're working as a peacemaker. We are working to putting the people to assess their own justice, because of course the court is a one way to see justice, but it's not the only one.
Yeah.
That's the point. Justice, court is completely different. Court is one way to see the justice. And yet, to open mind in our perspective of justice, because if I just see a court, a judge as a way to achieve a justice, we can have justice for all the people, because the sense of justice is something that completely unique for all of us.
So how is this way of thinking different than just mediation? Because a lot of people say, as you go through litigation, well, mediation is already there for people to, if they want to settle their dispute and not go to the court system, they can go to mediation. It's already there. How is being an integrative lawyer or using conscious contracts or your other tools, I wouldn't say, and you may use mediation as part of your integrative lawyer, but how is the mindset different than, let's just go to mediation and that's all that you need?
Yeah, I really like beliefs in mediation, but again, mediation, there is a lot of rules that you need to follow. And again, I like a practice that I can be more personal, that I can put myself more inside of that, myself in a service, show who am I. And so as a mediator, I need to put myself a little bit more distance of my client, and there is a rule that I need to follow because there is a rules for mediation, and a process, and I need to respect that because I am mediation, and sometimes I'm using mediation in a court because I'm making a voluntary work as a mediation in a public lawyer here in Rio de Janeiro. So I respect a lot a perspective approach that has a rule. And as an integrative lawyer, sometimes I using some rules of mediation to deal with the conflict that appears during that relationship. But I think conscious contract, building a conscious contract, is a step before mediation. Because when I'm thinking about mediation, something wrong, something not work, and in the conscious contract, there is something very interesting happening. In the end of the process, we're building our rules to deal with the conflict. That Kim and Linda title ACED. So it's a powerful tool to deal with the conflict because the parts, the people involved in that relationship said and discover how they want to deal with the ordinary conflict that appeared during that relationship.
And then because they helped determine the process beginning and they did it together, they are likely to follow it because they were part of the people, they were part of designing it.
Yeah, that's it. And so that's for me, it's magical because it's something that they can building their own way to getting a justice in that relationship. So I have a client that decided to put all the people in his office to dance, to have a ball. They are building 4 ways to solving the conflicts inside of the company, and the last one is a ball. Is a salsa ball, a party that they are dancing salsa.
And they're going to do that to solve. Oh my, that's, though, I just, there was a quote, a friend posted on Facebook the quote was from Sandra Bullock that I read, the actress Sandra Bullock. And it was something like, always dance before you leave the house because it changes the way that you walk. And I heard that last week. And since then, I've been like dancing. I love to dance. I'm not necessarily good at it, but I love it. And so I've been like dancing in the mornings. And like, I just sent a video of me dancing to my sister this morning because it was kind of funny and silly. And I was just like, whatever, we're going back and forth with it. And I'm like, well, at the end of it, when it's all said and done, the dancing makes my soul smile. And so if people are feeling that way, like they're like, if you could get the dancing to break through that and everyone's soul is smiling, it's going to be, then you can talk from that energy, you're going to find more solutions. That makes sense. I like that. What type of business were they?
They are a startup that they're working with vulnerability employees.
Vulnerable employees?
Yeah, they are incredible people. They winning a lot of prizes here in Brazil because they develop a methodology to putting the vulnerability people in the market, in the getting a work.
Vulnerable people go into, they help vulnerable people become employable and then assist other businesses to employ these individuals.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, they are wonderful.
Yeah, they are my first big client in the conscious contract. They develop this mentality. The principal, the owner of the company, they are making school dancing. So that's the reason that I decided to do that.
Okay.
And he's my friend, and so someday he decided to put his plan on a Shark Tank process.
Yeah.
He win that more than 1 million of money. Yeah. And he asked to me, Fernanda, I don't know how to do that because I don't have contract. All the things in my mind. So please help me. And I'm a completely crazy person. I started to study conscious contract because some months ago I met Kim, and so I said to him, so let's deal something different, and he agreed. Wow. and we put a lot of people together, people that never met to each other, someone that decided to put a lot of money in his company. And so an old-fashioned guy, like with a completely business mindset. And the end of the process, this guy cried with us, liking a lot to meditation that we do before the start the process. And so I keep to because this company is my big case. I still talking with them to know if everything that we're building help them, and it's amazing. It's worked.
Wonderful. That is wonderful. You started your own business. Is it a consultation business? And I saw what it's called. What's the name of your business or your company?
The name is SER, SER. Because, but this name is it's an acronym.
Okay.
It's an acronym to something like supporting real bonds, like building a bridge.
Okay. It's an acronym that has it's an acronym where the actual words in Spanish have the effect of like building a bridge for.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
In this, I looked up on your website, and I do not read Spanish, but I got like some gist. It looks like what I found interesting is I saw the consultation, like I think lawyer, facilitate dialogue, but then I also saw meditation and constellation and nonviolent communication. How do you bring in constellation? Is that like, what do you mean by constellation?
Constellation's approach that we can thinking about a systemic view, like that brings from a physics, but there is a guy, his name is Bert Hellinger. It's a German guy that developed this approach. It's about the way that view the things in a systemic way, that the situation that you live, you not live alone. You live because you have unconscious bias with your family. And so it's a way to amplify the things that you live. It's a therapeutic approach. So, and I'm using a lot during the conscious contract because you can see the way that you are develop your relationship in a perspective as you are in a balcony, like you see your life in a balcony. It's a very interesting therapeutic approach. I did a long course during 2 years to know about this approach, and now I'm having a certification as a constellation, and I using this a lot as I using some tools, psychologist tools. Nonviolent communication. Do you know about Marshall Rosenberg? And
I know like nonviolent communication. What was I didn't understand what you said the last time.
Yeah. Nonviolent communication is an approach that developed for Marshall Rosenberg, and it's again another connected dots. Linda Alvarez studying nonviolent communication with the same person that I studied, a British guy, Dominic Barter, and so we study with him together. He's living in Brazil. he was assistant of Marshall Rosenberg, and he developed something very interesting, is restorative justice. Nowadays, all the world use that, but it was developed here in Rio de Janeiro with Dominic Barter.
Okay.
Based on non-violent communication. And so again, it's not a tool, it's an approach of the view life, of living your life, to see a conflict as an environment to deepen intimacy with the other person. Because if I don't like you, if I don't have a relationship with you, I don't have conflict with you. So we have a conflict with people that we really love. And so if you are going through this conflict, we having a kind of more strong relationship. And so I'm using a lot this approach. Non-violent communication is a way to show to my clients that they have needs. And all the action that they have or reaction that they have is because there is a need that you need to take care.
So what are the type of things, so other than conscious contracts, where someone's coming to you because they want to start a business or start a relationship and they want to contract with it, so you use the conscious contract process or approach, are there some some services you provide that don't have to do with contracts?
I like to say that I can making sure that I will give you a contract, because during the process you can discover that you don't want to build a company with a person. Okay. Because when you during the process talking about your needs, your expectation, your exchanging, you are discover your relationship are not mature.
People who come to you then, or you provide services for people who maybe want to start businesses, start companies, or maybe an existing company is starting a new venture with another entity or something like that. Are those the type of matters that you handle?
Yeah, and I can say to them that I give them a contract, because I will take care of the relationship. I'm in the service of the relationship, and so we are going through this relationship to know about the needs of the partnership, the change, the exchange that you want to do, the expectation. So maybe in the end of the process to building the contract, you have discovered you don't want to building a company with this person. So it's a completely therapeutic approach. In the end of this, I can give you a contract that you are building with my help, but I can make sure that it's happened. So I put this in a clearly way with my clients, because it's happened sometimes. Yeah. Because again, it's not about contract, it's not about a paper, it's about you putting yourselves in a way to see what you are and what other one is. Because all the times we are just take care of us and not see other people. Yeah. We think you are see, but you will not see. And during this process, with this approach that I have, that you read in my website, I using this to show the people, is that person that you want, is that you are comfortable with that, and now you know to each other. It is. You can building a partnership. So it's better that it's happened during the process that they are going to the course to broken.
Yeah. No, it's better.
Having disputing, and it's a lot of damage when you're thinking about a business relationship are broken. A lot of employers, a lot of damage with that. So again, it's a good way to prevent conflict in the court.
Yeah.
So that's
it's not just to prevent conflicts from going into the court, but to prevent the conflicts from taking over the businesses and the people behind the businesses' lives. So, and really, so is anyone listening?
I don't know. I want to say something because it's very important. Here in Brazil, most of the business is building inside the family. So it's something really, really damaged when you're thinking about relationships in the family. And most of our business involved family.
Family
here in Brazil. And I think it's something that happened around the world.
Yeah, you do that. And I know
most of the business is family business.
I think it's more important. Some people will think, oh, that I'm going into business with my friend or a family member. I don't need to do this process because, and I'm just like, because you're family and friends, it's more important that you go through this process out of respect and out of love for that relationship because you want it to prosper.
That's it.
So really, any lawyer who is listening to this, anyone who helps individuals in business, forming businesses, starting new ventures, can use these integrative approaches to their practice. And when you did this for your practice, how do you feel now about practicing law compared to when we started? I asked you, how did you feel when you were practicing the traditional ways of law? And you said, I felt like I couldn't be myself. I had to play different roles at different times and it just didn't feel right. How do you feel now?
Now I feel I can do that without payment. I feel very happy when my clients paid me. I have a price, of course, for my time because the most precious thing that I have is my time. But again, my payment is the same for a rich person or a poor person, or I don't change because I think it's something sustainable to pay my bills, just that. Because I don't want to earn money to save myself for something that never happened. I don't, that's it. So,
but one of the differences that you feel from when you were practicing law in the traditional practice, you felt like you were working to earn money. And now you feel like you're providing a service for a purpose.
That's it. And no money pays me. And I feel like I do this job, receive this money, but I need more because really it's just something that it's hurt me a lot. There is no pride.
Practice.
Yeah, the older. And nowadays that I woke up very happy for meeting a new people, for helping people. And so I'm learning a lot about myself even during this process. I feel complete. That's it. I'm completely doing that.
Thank you very much for being part of this and for sharing your integrative law practice with us.